And then, of course, the third line, free coffee, everlasting life. Membership has its privileges. Walmart is not the only saving place. Do you hear what lies behind all of these messages and 1,000 like them? Evangelicals have become experts in finding 1,000 new ways to ask the same question. What is the least one has to do to become a Christian? That's our defining question. We are the ones who've led the whole church to boil down the entire gospel to a single phrase, a simple emotive transaction, or some silly slogan. It's time for a new generation of Christians committed to apostolic faith to declare this minimalistic, reductionistic Christianity a failed project. It is wrong to try to get as many people as possible to acknowledge as superficially as allowable a gospel which is theologically unsustainable. We must be reminded of the words of Soren Kierkegaard when he declared, "Christianity is the profoundest wound that can be inflicted upon us, calculated on the most dreadful scale to collide with everything. Take up your cross," said Jesus, "and follow me." Or Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who said in his opening page of his classic book, The Cost of Discipleship, when Christ calls a man, he bids him come and die. We, on the other hand, have made entrance into the Christian faith painless and almost seamless. In the process, we have managed to produce as many nominal Christians as Christendom ever did. If the liberal project taught us that denying apostolic Christianity renders the gospel inert and non-reproducible, note the rapid decline of mainline churches, evangelical minimalistic Christianity has taught us that the gospel cannot be reduced to bite-sized piece for mass consumption. The gospel is about the inbreaking kingdom and the new creation, and it claims the whole sphere. We can't just simply play one corner of the chessboard. You have to play the whole board. The gospel must be embodied in a redeemed community and touch the whole of life. This is why the Wesley brothers set up class meetings, fed the poor, wrote books on physics, gave preachers canonical sermons, catechized the young, preached at brickyards, promoted prison reform, rode 250,000 miles on horseback, I didn't count Charles, preached 40,000 sermons, superintended orphanages, were avid abolitionists, and wrote theologically laden hymns for the church. You see, they were capturing every sphere with the gospel. The new creation crashes in on the whole of life. If Wesley teaches us anything, please hear this. It is that salvation is not something which is simply announced to us. It is something which God works in us. The forceful intrusion of His holiness into our history. Brothers and sisters, it is time for us to capture a fresh vision of the great meta-narrative of the Christian gospel for our times. The bumper sticker, "God is my co-pilot," will not get us there. We have, in effect, been crisscrossing the world, telling people to make God a player, even a major player, in our drama. But the gospel is about being swept up into His drama. Christ has come as a second Adam to inaugurate the restoration of the whole of creation, by redeeming a people for Himself who are saved in their full humanity and called together into the church of Jesus Christ. Discipleship, worship of the triune God, covenant faithfulness, suffering for the sake of the gospel, abiding loyalty to Christ's holy church, theological depth, and a renewed mission to serve the poor and the disenfranchised. These must become the great impulses of our lives. Don't read typical church bulletins today about what the life of the church is like. Go read the Didache. Read it about once a month. It'll take you about 15 minutes, but it'll be worth it. Thus, while some are declaring that the day of the seminary is over and that we are hopelessly irrelevant, we're hopelessly out of touch with culture, and the churches can, quote, take it from here, I want to declare that there's no institution more vital for the proper recovery of biblical apostolic Christianity than the seminary. Amen. This is why I believe in the mission of Asbury Seminary. Oh, I know we live in the world of Google and Wikipedia, and we now live under the fountain of endless information. What term, what Greek word can't be found at the click of a mouse? But I cannot help but think of Dylan Thomas's remembrance of his childhood Christmas presents, which included, quote, books that told me about everything about the wasp except why. In the midst of the Twitterization of all knowledge, we need profound, thoughtful, nuanced men and women who are, to use the language of our mission statement, theologically educated, and who bring that into service of Christ's holy church. We need sustained theological reflection in a community like this, in contrast to Thomas Friedman's description of our digital world as, quote, continuous partial attention.